Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am VC Pramod and with me is Vaibhav Srivastav with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi tells Chief Minister for focused approach to fight against COVID-19. Asks state governments to ensure that rural India remains free from the crisis. Recovery rate of COVID-19 patients improves to 31.15%. Railways to resume passenger trains from tomorrow. Online booking of tickets begins. Home Ministry issues guidelines for movement of people by trains. Only asymptomatic and confirmed ticket holders can travel. Agriculture Minister launches integration of 177 new mandis with National Agriculture Market to strengthen agriculture marketing. UGC issues guidelines on examinations and academic calendar in view of COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has stressed the need to have a more focused approach now to fight against COVID-19. He said the road ahead should be focused on reducing the spread and ensuring that all precautions are taken by people, including social distancing norms. In a meeting through video conferencing with state chief ministers, Mr. Modi said the governments have to ensure that rural India remains free from the crisis. Official sources said the Prime Minister added that slowly but surely economic activities have begun to pick up in several parts of the country, and in the coming days, this process will further gather steam. He also said there is global recognition for India's success in handling the COVID-19 pandemic, and the central government appreciates the efforts made by all states in this regard. Mr. Modi said, now there is reasonably clear indication as to the geographical spread of the pandemic in India, including the worst affected areas. He added that over the past few weeks, officials have understood operating procedures in a time such as this right up to the district level. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Home Minister Amit Shah, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and Health Minister Harshvardhan, among others, were present on the occasion. This was the Prime Minister's fifth video conference with the Chief Ministers since the announcement of nationwide lockdown in March this year. As the country enters into the last week of its third phase of lockdown, Mr. Modi's meeting with the state Chief Ministers was considered to be very crucial in terms of finalizing the roadmap ahead. Science and Technology Minister Dr. Harshvardhan today said India's fight against COVID-19 is moving ahead strongly and steadily. He was addressing a digital conference organized to celebrate the National Technology Day in New Delhi. Dr. Harshvardhan emphasized that the science and technology response to COVID-19 reflects the collaborative spirit of the entire science and technology ecosystem. He said government, academia, scientists, startups, entrepreneurs and industry have been working relentlessly to find solutions to combat this pandemic. Dr. Harshvardhan appreciated their efforts to find quick and deployable solutions for COVID-19.
22वां टेक्नोलॉजी डे है और कोविड के रहते एक प्रकार से ये शायद ब्लेसिंग इन डिसगाइज हुआ है कि अपने अपने दफ्तर के अंदर बैठकर सारे देश के अंदर कई हजार वैज्ञानिक उन्होंने इस टेक्नोलॉजी डे के सेलिब्रेशन में भाग लिया। बड़े बड़े हमारे देश के वैज्ञानिकों ने साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी और दूसरे जो संबंधित मंत्रालय हैं उनके बड़े बड़े अधिकारियों ने इसमें भाग लिया। विश्व स्वास्थ्य संगठन के हेडक्वार्टर से डॉक्टर स्वामीनाथन ने भाग लिया।
The minister also apprised the audience about the COVID-19 task force set up by the government to map the COVID-19 related technology capabilities. World Health Organization's chief scientist Soumya Swaminathan today commended India for keeping the coronavirus cases and deaths very low as compared to other countries and said it will play an important role in the development of a vaccine for COVID-19. On vaccine development, Ms. Swaminathan said the world cannot have enough vaccines for everyone if India is not part of the process. She said that it is not just enough to develop and test the vaccine, but it is also crucial to manufacture it, scale up procurement and get health systems to vaccinate populations.
The Health Ministry has said that the recovery rate of patients from COVID-19 infection has gone up to 31.15%. Briefing media persons in New Delhi, a Health Ministry official said that a total of 4,213 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 have been reported in the last 24 hours and 1,559 patients have recovered and have been discharged from the hospitals.
पिछले 24 घंटे में अगर हम देखें तो पाते हैं कि टोटल केसेस में 4,213 केसेस का इंक्रीज नोट किया गया है, पर साथ में ही 1,559 पेशेंट्स क्योर भी हुए हैं। इस तरीके से हम देखें तो पाते हैं कि हमारा टोटल रिकवरी रेट अब 31.15% हो चुका है।
Taking the fresh confirmed cases, the total number has gone up to 67,152 in the country so far. Out of the total cases, 20,926 patients have recovered, while 2,206 have died. The official also appealed to the people that in case they observe any symptoms, then they should consult the doctor and not hide it. He said the fight is against the COVID pandemic and not the infected persons. The official also informed that Health Ministry has issued a revised discharge policy for confirmed COVID-19 patients. He said, as per the new discharge policy, very mild, and moderate patients can be discharged without COVID-19 test, subject to clinical conditions.
जो केसेस माइल्ड हैं, वेरी माइल्ड हैं या प्री सिम्टोमेटिक केसेस हैं और कोविड केयर फैसिलिटी में एडमिट हैं, अगर सिम्टम की शुरुआत के 10 दिनों में उनको 3 दिन तक फीवर ना हो तो उन्हें डिस्चार्ज किया जा सकता है। ऐसे समय में डिस्चार्ज से पहले टेस्टिंग करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है, लेकिन डिस्चार्ज के बाद भी 7 दिनों के लिए उन्हें होम आइसोलेशन का पालन करना पड़ेगा।
The official further said the discharge policy was changed because several countries have changed their discharge criteria from test-based strategy to symptom-based strategy or time-based strategy. It is important to note that the discharge policy is not meant for home or facility quarantine patients. He said Health Ministry has issued revised guidelines for home isolation of very mild and pre-symptomatic COVID-19 cases. According to this, for very mild and pre-symptomatic COVID cases, there is no need for testing after the end of the home isolation period. Speaking on the occasion, the Home Ministry officials said that Home Ministry has issued standard operating protocol to facilitate movement of persons by train, and only the passengers with confirmed e-tickets can enter the railway station. She said screening will be done and only asymptomatic passengers will be allowed to travel. She also informed that the Home Ministry and Ministry of Railways today conducted a video conference with state nodal officers to review operations of Shramik special trains to facilitate faster movement of stranded workers to their native places.
आज सुबह गृह मंत्रालय ने रेलवे और राज्य सरकारों के नोडल ऑफिसर्स के साथ वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस द्वारा स्पेशल ट्रेनों की समीक्षा की। इस बात पर जोर दिया गया कि अगले कुछ हफ्तों तक रोज कम से कम 100 श्रमिक स्पेशल ट्रेन्स चलाई जाए, जिससे श्रमिकों को वापस घर आने में कोई समस्या नहीं आए।
The Home Ministry officials said the centre has also written to all states and union territories to prevent migrant workers from resorting to walking on road or railway tracks to reach their native places. The officials said that states have also been asked to ensure smooth movement of medical professionals and paramedical staff and opening of all private clinics, nursing homes and labs. During the briefing, Chairman of the Empowered Group 9 explained the basic principles that how technology and data deployment for citizens and other stakeholders has been done. He said the Arogya Setu app has been playing a crucial role in India's fight against COVID-19. The app has been developed in order to alert people before they come in contact with infected patients. It also enables self-assessment. He said privacy first has been the principle on which this app has been developed. The chairman also informed that personal identity of Arogya Setu app users is not revealed to anyone, as it is being used only for protecting the user and others from COVID-19.
पॉजिटिव पाए गए 13,000 से कम इस वक्त हमारे एक्टिव यूजर्स हैं आरोग्य सेतु ऐप के। उनका ब्लूटूथ कॉन्टैक्ट डेटा, उनका जीपीएस डेटा कि वो पिछले 15 दिन में कहां थे, वो डेटा को लेकर अलर्ट किया जा रहा है। बाकी का डेटा आप ही के फोन पर सुरक्षित है, सुरक्षित रहेगा। उनके ठीक होने के 60 दिन के बाद वो भी पूरा का पूरा डेटा मिटा दिया जाएगा। तो इसमें कोई भी पॉसिबिलिटी नहीं बचती कि कोई हम सर्वेलेंस करें या किसी भी तरह से इसका दुरुपयोग करें।
Indian Railways has announced gradual restart of passenger train services from tomorrow. Initially, 15 pairs of trains will ply with passengers on board. These trains will be run as special trains from New Delhi station connecting Dibrugarh, Agartala, Howrah, Patna, Bilaspur, Ranchi, Bhubaneswar, Secunderabad, Bengaluru, Chennai, Thiruvananthapuram, Madgaon, Mumbai Central, Ahmedabad and Jammu Tawi. Booking of tickets in these trains has opened at IRCTC website. Our correspondent reports that ticket booking counters at the railway stations will remain closed and counter tickets will not be issued.
All these special trains will have only first, second and third air-conditioned classes. The fare structure for these trains will be the same as regular timetabled Rajdhani trains, excluding catering charges. No catering charges will be included in the fare. Provision for prepaid meal booking and e-catering will be disabled. However, IRCTC will make provision for limited e-tables and packaged drinking water on payment basis. Rail Ministry has encouraged passengers to carry their own food and drinking water. Current booking, Tatkal and premium Tatkal booking will not be permitted. Only passengers with valid confirmed tickets will be allowed to enter the railway stations. Passengers will have to wear face cover and undergo screening at departure, and only asymptomatic passengers will be allowed to board the train. They will have to reach the station at least 90 minutes in advance to facilitate thermal screening. Online ticket cancellation will be permitted up to 24 hours before scheduled departure of train. No ticket cancellation will be permitted less than 24 hours before departure of train. Ticket cancellation charge shall be 50% of the fare. The ministry has advised all passengers to download and use the Arogya Setu app. No linen, blankets and curtains will be provided inside the train, and passengers should carry their own linen. With Divakar, Suparna Saikia, AIR News, Delhi.
In Tamil Nadu, the total figure of COVID-19 infected cases has surged past the 8,000 mark today. Both the state and its capital city, Chennai, have registered a new high in the newly infected cases. The state tally of new cases is 798, taking the total to 8,002, out of which Chennai has recorded 538 new patients. Today's death toll at 6 is also the largest count on any single day so far, taking the total to 53. However, the fatality rate in the state remains at 0.66%. In all, 92 people were discharged from various hospitals. More from our correspondent.
The fourth Vande Bharat mission flight to Chennai lands tonight with about 250 stranded Indians from Kuala Lumpur. In the last few days, 2 flights from Dubai and 1 from Kuwait arrived at the city airport as part of India's largest ever evacuation exercise. Another flight came from Kuala Lumpur to Trichy airport in Tamil Nadu last Saturday. Meanwhile, over 9,000 guest laborers and stranded people from other states, including medical tourists, have been seen off from different railway stations in the state in the past few days, using 8 Shramik special trains. Other guest laborers who insist on returning have been assured that they would be sent back in the next 1 week, subject to the concurrence of their home states. The state administration has appealed to them to be in their camps till then. Jai Singh, AIR News, Chennai.
A special flight from Dhaka carrying about 110 passengers landed in Mumbai this evening as part of the Vande Bharat mission. This was the 5th repatriation flight to land in Mumbai. After landing, all passengers were screened and sensitized about coronavirus. They were later shifted to quarantine facilities set up by the Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai, MCGM. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
Besides over 100 passengers from Dhaka, 827 Indians have landed in Mumbai via 4 flights, 1 each from London, Singapore, Manila and San Francisco since Sunday. According to the civic body, passengers belonging to Mumbai have been kept under mandatory institutional quarantine in hotels near the airport, while those hailing from other cities were taken to their respective places by state transport buses and tourist cabs. The Mumbai civic body has reserved as many as 3,340 rooms in 88 hotels for these incoming people. Another flight carrying more than 300 passengers from Newark is expected to land in the city around midnight. Meanwhile, over 6 lakh people employed in various industries across Maharashtra have resumed work post-lockdown relaxations. While addressing a webinar organized by Maratha Chamber of Commerce and Industry and Agriculture, State Industries Minister Subhash Desai informed that about 25,000 companies have restarted their operations. Kunal Shinde, AIR News, Mumbai.
Our Dhaka correspondent reports that passengers expressed happiness and thanked the Government of India and the Indian High Commission in Bangladesh for extending them all help during the process of evacuation.
The evacuation of Indian nationals from Bangladesh continued with the flight from Dhaka leaving for Mumbai today in the afternoon. A total of 107 stranded Indian nationals in Bangladesh left for Mumbai aboard a special Air India flight under the Vande Bharat scheme of the government. Earlier, one flight each had left for Srinagar on Friday and for Delhi on Saturday, evacuating the Indian nationals from Bangladesh. The passengers leaving Bangladesh expressed happiness and thanked the government and High Commission of India for facilitating their evacuation. Rajesh Jha, AIR News, Dhaka.
Under Vande Bharat mission, 3 special flights from Abu Dhabi, Dubai and Bahrain took off with more than 525 distressed Indians on board on the 5th day today. More from our West Asia correspondent.
On the 5th day of the Vande Bharat mission, 3 flights from Abu Dhabi, Dubai and Bahrain took off with more than 525 distressed Indians on board. 170 passengers took off to Hyderabad from Abu Dhabi, while 180 passengers and 4 infants were on the flight to Kozhikode from Bahrain. On the Dubai-Kochi flight, nearly 29 women in their advanced stages of pregnancy were given priority. More than 24 senior citizens, including 91-year-old Theresamma, with her 61-year-old son Joey, was on the passenger list. A number of distressed workers, a few medical cases, and some who had personal tragedy in the family also made it to the flight. Today's flight also saw 2 passengers who were stuck at the Dubai airport for the last more than 50 days due to the lockdown. Speaking to media later, Consul General Vipul said that the flight to Kochi was full with 177 passengers on board. He also said that he was hopeful of more flights being scheduled in the second phase of Vande Bharat mission so that more such people can get relief. Kanchan Prasad, AIR News, Dubai.
As part of the Samudra Setu program, the second ship of the Indian Navy has left for Kochi in Kerala from the Maldives. It is expected to reach Kochi by tomorrow evening, carrying 202 Indian nationals, including 24 women and 2 children. Kerala is on high alert as more returnees from abroad and other states are turning COVID-19 positive. More from our correspondent.
7 more COVID-19 cases are confirmed in Kerala today, out of which 4 people had returned from Maharashtra, 1 from Chennai and 1 from Kuwait. The total active cases had rose to 27 in the state. Meanwhile, the state government had announced detailed guidelines for people in home quarantine. The guidelines instruct strict room quarantine for 14 days with no contact, no visitors, and detailed instructions regarding waste disposal and daily surveillance by police and health officials. The State Health Minister K.K. Shailaja said that all necessary arrangements are being done foreseeing the situation, and as more returnees are awaited, the health guidelines need to be strictly followed as safety remains the primary concern. Meanwhile, the flight carrying 177 expatriates from Dubai will be arriving soon in Kochi, whereas the flight from Bahrain carrying 184 passengers is scheduled to arrive in Kozhikode at 11:20 p.m. tonight. The flight from Doha that was called off yesterday is rescheduled to arrive tomorrow in Thiruvananthapuram at 12:40 p.m. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi tells chief ministers for focused approach to fight against COVID-19. Asks state governments to ensure that rural India remains free from the crisis. Recovery rate of COVID-19 patients improves to 31.15%. Railways to resume passenger trains from tomorrow. Online booking of tickets begin. Home Ministry issues guidelines for movement of people by trains. Only asymptomatic and confirmed ticket holders can travel. Agriculture Minister launches integration of 177 new mandis with National Agriculture Market to strengthen agriculture marketing. And UGC issues guidelines on examinations and academic calendar in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar today launched integration of 177 new mandis with the National Agriculture Market to strengthen agriculture marketing and facilitate farmers to sell their harvested produce through the online portal. The mandis integrated today include 17 in Gujarat, 26 in Haryana, 54 in Maharashtra and 17 in Punjab. With the launch of 177 additional mandis, the total number of e-Naam mandis across the country has now reached 962. Launching the new mandis through video conferencing, the minister said efforts should be made to strengthen e-Naam further to benefit the farmers. He said e-Naam portals has been envisioned by Prime Minister Narendra Modi as an ambitious use of technology for the benefit of farmers. The centre has extended the timeline given to all states and union territories to complete the seeding of Aadhaar numbers with all ration cards till the 30th of September this year. It also clarified that until then, no genuine beneficiary will be denied from entitled quota of food grains, and their names or ration cards will not be deleted or cancelled only on the ground of not possessing an Aadhaar number. Ministry of Consumer Affairs has issued clear instructions to all states in this regard. University Grants Commission UGC has issued guidelines on examinations and academic calendar in view of COVID-19 pandemic. All universities have been advised to plan their academic activities, keeping in view the safety and interest of all stakeholders, giving highest priority to the health of all concerned, while adopting and implementing the guidelines. Universities have also been requested to establish a cell for handling grievances of the students related to examinations and other academic activities arising due to the pandemic and notify the same to the students. UGC has also undertaken many steps to monitor the queries, grievances and other academic matters of students, teachers and institutions arising due to COVID-19 pandemic. It has established a dedicated helpline number 011-2323-6374 and has created an email address covid19help.ugc@gmail.com for queries.
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of the leading medical experts on COVID-19. Dr. Prasoon Chatterjee from the Geriatric Medicine Department, AIIMS, suggested the senior citizens to stay at home as they are more prone to catch the COVID-19 infection.
सीनियर सिटीजन को एक्सरसाइज करते रहना है, चाहे वॉकिंग हो, चाहे रेजिस्टिव ट्रेनिंग हो, चाहे योगा हो, ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइज हो, और खुश रहना है. आपको ये नहीं समझना है दिस टर्म इज नॉट एक्चुअली सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग, ये फिजिकल डिस्टेंसिंग. आप वर्चुअल वर्ल्ड में मोबाइल हो जाए, कंप्यूटर के थ्रू अपने रिश्तेदार से बात करते रहे. अननेसेसरी घर के बाहर मत जाइए, क्योंकि आपका जो इम्यून सिस्टम है वो कंपेरेटिवली यंग एज के मुताबिक वीक है. कम कम खाइए, बार बार खाइए, फ्रेश फूड, वेजिटेबल्स खाइए, क्योंकि उससे आपका इम्यून सिस्टम इंप्रूव होगी.
Talking to AIR News, Dr. Ambuj Roy of Cardiology Department of AIIMS advised the elderly people and those suffering from other diseases like hypertension and cancer to take extra precautions to avoid the infection.
They have to be extra cautious. So the elderly, the people who already have heart disease, people who have had brain strokes, people who have lung disease, people who have some kind of cancer, in general, people who are more than 65 years of age, they're much more prone to a more severe form of the disease if they get the disease. So it's very important that these people be especially careful and take all these measures even more seriously.
In an exclusive interview to All India Radio, Executive Director, Ministry of Railways, Mr. Mandeep Singh Bhatia told AIR that initially only e-tickets have been allowed for passenger trains starting from tomorrow with 7-day advance reservation period.
इनिशियली हम लोगों ने सिर्फ ई टिकट्स अलाउ किए हैं, और जिसमें क्लास ऑफ जर्नी रहेगी 3rd AC, 2nd AC और 1st AC. क्योंकि ये इमरजेंसी का कदम है, तो हम लोगों ने 7 डेज का एडवांस रिजर्वेशन पीरियड दिया है. जैसे आज 11 तारीख है, तो आप 18 तारीख तक की गाड़ियों का टिकट बुक कर सकते हैं.
The COVID-19 test of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh has been found negative. Sources said Dr. Singh, who was admitted to AIIMS New Delhi last evening after he complained of uneasiness, is responding well to treatment and his condition is stable. He has now been shifted from the ICU to a private ward. Currently, the 87-year-old veteran Congress leader is a member of the Rajya Sabha. A number of leaders expressed concern over his health and wished him a speedy recovery. In Maharashtra, a total of 14 candidates, including Shiv Sena President and Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, today filed their nomination papers for the upcoming Legislative Council polls. The election is crucial for the Chief Minister, who needs to get elected before the 28th of May or risk losing the post. The State Election Commission had announced polls for 9 seats which fell vacant on the 24th of April. The polls were initially postponed in view of the coronavirus outbreak.
Finance Ministry today clarified that there is no proposal under consideration of the government for any cut whatsoever in the existing salary of any category of central government employees. In a tweet, the ministry said the reports in some section of the media regarding this are false and have no basis at all. Minister of State for Personnel, Dr. Jitendra Singh, also termed it as fake news. A private TV channel had reported that central government is mulling to cut 30% salary of its employees. Noted actor Akshay Kumar has appealed to people to stay at home and follow all guidelines regarding lockdown to save yourself and your family from coronavirus.
बीमारी के सामने सबकी हालत बुरी है, पूरी दुनिया की हालत बुरी है। अपने परिवार के हीरो बन सकते हो तुम लोग, जिंदगी के खिलाड़ी बनो, सिर्फ घर पे रहो, बस घर पे रहो, बस सिर्फ घर पे रहो। जब तक सरकार कह रही है घर पे रहो, इससे आपकी जान बची रहेगी, आपके परिवार की जान बची रहेगी। कोरोना के खिलाफ जंग छिड़ चुकी है, हमें इसे हराना है, इस डिजीज को हराना है।
In Uttar Pradesh, more than 1 lakh persons have downloaded the Ayush Kavach COVID app within 2 days of its launch by Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. The app, developed by Ayush Ministry, helps citizens of the state in getting health remedies which can be useful in the fight against COVID-19. A report.
कोरोना के डर को भूल जाइए, आयुष कवच कोविड अपनाइए. Means forget the fear of corona and download the Ayush Kavach COVID app. Like the words in this slogan, people in Uttar Pradesh have shown keen interest in the Ayush Kavach COVID app, and it was downloaded by more than 1 lakh persons in just 2 days after launch. In an exclusive interview with AIR, Mission Director of State Ayush Society, Rajkamal Yadav said that the Ayush Kavach COVID app not only provides home remedies to improve immunity, which helps in fight against coronavirus, but interactive yoga sessions are also being conducted through the application in which anybody can participate.
आयुष कवच कोविड गूगल प्ले स्टोर पे एंड्रॉइड प्लेटफॉर्म पे उपलब्ध है, वहाँ से डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं और इसको बहुत ही सिंपल, इसको यूजर फ्रेंडली टाइप रखा गया है कि आप केवल आपको फोन नंबर से इसमें रजिस्ट्रेशन हो जाएगा और इसका जो प्रोसेस फ्लो बनाया गया है उसमें 5 से टैब्स आपको दिखाई देंगे कि हमें वर्तमान में आयुर्वेद की आवश्यकता क्यों है.
The app is designed to tell users how commonly available kitchen ingredients such as tulsi, clove and cinnamon can be used to enhance the body's immunity to fight against COVID-19. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
India's national broadcasters Doordarshan and All India Radio have assumed focus on comprehensive weather coverage from across the entire territory of the country. The weather reports cover details from every corner of the country, highlighting extreme weather conditions, temperatures of various places from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Gilgit to Guwahati, Baltistan to Port Blair. The maximum temperature in the national capital stood at 35 degrees Celsius today, with hazy sunshine, while Mumbai witnessed a partly sunny day with a maximum temperature of 34 degrees Celsius. In Kolkata, the maximum temperature was 34 degrees Celsius. Chennai experienced a maximum temperature of 36 degrees Celsius with partly sunny and pleasant weather. Jammu witnessed warm weather with a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius temperature. Srinagar witnessed a maximum of 25 degrees with a prediction of thunderstorm tonight. Gilgit is expected to be colder tonight. Maximum temperature witnessed was 27 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will also experience a mostly cloudy sky. Maximum temperature settled at 34 degrees Celsius in Muzaffarabad.
In Ahmedabad, the home deliveries have been mandatorily made cashless from the 15th of this month. Our correspondent reports that all shops except those selling medicines and milk have been closed in the city till the 14th of May. The News Services Division of All India Radio, in its bilingual live phone-in program today, will bring you a special discussion on COVID-19. Dr. Balvinder Singh, senior physician at Safdarjung Hospital, will participate in the discussion. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:25 p.m. onwards. And now, before we end, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi tells chief ministers for focused approach to fight against COVID-19. Asks state governments to ensure that rural India remains free from the crisis. Recovery rate of COVID-19 patients improves to 31.15%. Railways to resume passenger trains from tomorrow. Online booking of tickets begins. Home Ministry issues guidelines for movement of people by trains. Only asymptomatic and confirmed ticket holders can travel. Agriculture Minister launches integration of 177 new mandis with National Agriculture Market to strengthen agriculture marketing. UGC issues guidelines on examinations and academic calendar in view of COVID-19 pandemic. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the evening news.